the cat who always wins, and why it matters. If you think animals are just pets, think again. Let me tell you the story of Rakar Catten, a beautiful Siberian cat from Stockholm, Sweden, and her human, Magnus. This isn't just a story about a cat who runs fast. It's about love, connection, and how even the smallest creature can change the course of your life in the most unexpected ways. Rakar Catten didn't always seem special. She spent her early days, like many cats, curled up on warm blankets, following sunbeams across the floor, meowing for food, and purring in Magnus's arms. To most people, she was just a very fluffy, very pretty house cat. But Magnus saw something else, something deeper in her eyes. A spark, a longing, and maybe a kind of restlessness. It wasn't until she turned 2 that it became impossible to ignore. One weekend, Magnus took Rakar to their countryside cottage, a place of open skies, wild grass, and dense woods stretching for miles. The moment they arrived, something changed. She didn't hesitate. She leapt from the car and tore through the fields like she'd been waiting her whole life for that moment. No leash, no fear, just pure, instinctive freedom. She ran like her soul had been waiting, Magnus would later say. And from that day on, everything changed. Running became their ritual, not just a way to burn energy, but a way to connect. Magnus would call her name from across the field, and Rakar would race him home, always winning, every time. Her paws hit the ground with a grace that defied belief. She didn't just run, she flew. Neighbors started to notice. Friends began filming. One by one, people from all over the world started following her story. But Rakar didn't care about attention. She ran for herself. For the joy, for the wind on her face and the earth under her claws. Magnus never trained her. He just let her be who she was, wild, strong, and unapologetically free. He didn't cut her claws, didn't restrict her movements, didn't try to tame what made her magic. Instead, he ran beside her, 2 souls in sync, man and cat, equal partners on a shared journey. As the seasons changed, so did their rhythm. In the summer, they'd race across dry fields and forest paths. In the winter, Rakar would plunge into the snow like a lioness of ice, leaping and spinning through the drifts with childlike glee. Nothing could stop her. And then came the races. It started as a joke, Magnus signing her up for a local pet fun run. He wasn't sure she'd go for it. Crowds, whistles, noise. But the moment they stepped up to the line, Rakar gave him a look. Confident, calm, as if to say, "Don't worry, I've got this." And she did. She didn't just win, she owned it. From that day on, Rakar never lost a race. Not once. She remained undefeated for over a decade. Her fastest recorded sprint, 60 meters in under 6 seconds. But if you asked Magnus, those numbers were never the point. What mattered most was how alive she felt when she ran, and how alive she made him feel just by being beside her. When she turned 7, Magnus made a decision. He left city life behind and moved to the countryside full-time for Rakar, because that's where she was happiest. That's where she was truly herself. She explored every inch of that land like she owned it, climbed trees, chased birds, ran races only she could see. And at the end of each adventure, she'd return to Magnus with her fur wild, her eyes sparkling, and her heart full. Now, Rakar is older, the runs are shorter, the leap's not quite as high, but the love, the bond, that's stronger than ever. These days, Magnus and Rakar spend more time sitting on the porch than racing across fields. But the silence between them is just as meaningful, because when you've shared 1,000 joyful sprints with someone, words become unnecessary. I tell this story not just because it's beautiful, but because it reminds us of something we often forget, that love can be quiet, that freedom is a gift, and that sometimes the ones who change our lives don't speak our language, but they speak to our hearts. Rakar Catten is more than just a fast cat. She's proof that connection, when nurtured with patience and trust, can lead to something magical. She and Magnus didn't just run races, they ran toward life, together. So if this story moved you, do me a favor, give it a like, share it, subscribe for more tales that celebrate the beautiful, unexpected love between animals and humans. And if you're thinking of bringing a special animal into your home, whether it's a Siberian cat like Rakar or any other creature, take time to learn about them, respect their needs, let them be who they are. Because when you do, you might just find yourself in the middle of a story you never expected one, filled with freedom, laughter, and 1,000 joyful races toward home.
Our team works hard behind the scenes to find and share real-life stories that truly matter. Every video is crafted with care, carefully researched, edited with trusted sources, and always treated with the respect these stories deserve. What you see isn't just made to inspire, it's meant to be real and meaningful.